The world we know is nothing more than a tiny drop of water in the vast Lake Mobius. It is a place that fundamentally overturns the worldview of Hunter x Hunter, a place too hopeless, yet too alluring. The Dark Continent. Chimera ants, the 5 threats, and unknown resources. There is a legendary man who ventured into this forbidden land alone over 300 years ago and is said to be alive to this day. His name is Don Freecss. Who exactly is this figure who shares the same family name as the protagonist, Gon, and his father, Jing? Even Isaac Netero, once hailed as the strongest human, turned his back on the Dark Continent, saying it was different from the strength he sought. So why can this man continue his insane journey there? Today, we will thoroughly analyze the greatest mystery of the series, Don Freecss, exploring the true nature of his strength, the secret of his survival, and his connection to Gon and Jing. Chapter 1, The Out-of-Place Artifact, Journey to the New World. The proof of Don's existence in the story began with a single book. Its title, Journey to the New World. This is an adventure log believed to detail the exploration of the harsh shoreline of Lake Mobius by a single man. The book vividly describes creatures and environments that defy our common sense. Initially, it was treated as the delusion of a madman. However, later research proved that everything written in it was the truth. Currently, only the East volume has been found. This alone is enough to prove that Don possessed extraordinary curiosity and ability. However, the theory proposed by Jing Freecss sent a shiver down our spines. Only the East volume has been found. There are 3 possible reasons why the West volume is missing. 1. It simply hasn't been found yet. 2. He gave up halfway, and it was never written. And the 3rd. He is currently still writing it. The first book was published over 300 years ago. If he is still writing today, it means Don Freecss is over 300 years old and is still walking through that hellish continent. Chapter 2, Why the Warrior Left, and the Monster Remained. This brings us to a crucial comparison with another monster who once challenged the Dark Continent, Isaac Netero. In his prime, Netero stepped into the Dark Continent seeking the pinnacle of martial arts, looking for an unknown strong opponent he could fight on equal terms. But he turned back. Why? Was it because Netero was weak? No. What Netero sought was individual strength where souls collide, victory in a martial arts sense. The exchange of blows, the defense, the offense, and the triumph over an opponent. In contrast, what the Dark Continent thrust upon him was nature possessing bottomless malice. There was no victory or defeat there, only an unreasonable survival. This place is too huge. The strength required here is of a different breed. Realizing this was not a dojo to swing his fists, Netero decided to return, but Don Freecss is different. He accepted the absurd nature that Netero turned his back on, adapted to it, and has been conquering it for 300 years. This doesn't necessarily mean Don is stronger than Netero in a fistfight. However, in terms of biological comprehensive strength or environmental adaptability, Don is a monster from a different dimension, far surpassing the framework of the strongest individual. While Netero sought combat, Don chose coexistence or perhaps predation. The ability to stroll through a world of death teeming with the 5 threats as if it were his own garden, that is the essence of Don's strength. Chapter 3, The Mystery of Immortality and the Freecss Bloodline. So, how can he, presumably a human, live for over 300 years? The most realistic theory is the regular consumption of the returns from the Dark Continent, nitro rice, the ultimate secret to longevity, and the panacea herb that cures all illnesses. These are not mere health foods. They are blessings of the gods obtained through an equivalent exchange of risking one's life, breaking through territories guarded by the 5 threats that could destroy humanity. For 300 years, Don has continued to win in an environment that is a daily death game, continuously consuming these rewards. As a result, his body may have already evolved into a new life form, entirely different from the structure of the Homo sapiens we know. And we cannot overlook the peculiar mentality flowing through the Freecss bloodline. Gon, Jing, and Don. The common thread connecting them is a pure egoism. If it is for the sake of my curiosity, I will disregard common sense, the circumstances of others, and even my own safety. Jing chose adventure over raising his son. Gon possesses a danger where he would bet his own life as a chip for his goals. Then, what about the source, Dawn? A man wandering the Dark Continent alone for 300 years, writing a book. He seems to have no fear of solitude, no lingering attachment to a hometown. All he has is a bottomless inquisitiveness to know everything outside this world. The Freecss family is not a lineage where talent as a hunter is inherited. It is a clan where the very state of the soul, the inability to fit into the framework of the ordinary world is inherited. Dawn can be said to be the origin, the one with the highest purity as a resident of the other side. Chapter 4, The Man on the Dragon and Gon's Birth. Here, we must touch upon a certain image that has been debated by fans for years as the greatest mystery. It is the mental image Gon saw early in the story when listening to the tape left by Jing. It depicted a man riding a dragon-like creature of absurd size, leisurely looking back, with a tree so massive it pierced the clouds in the background. At the time, many readers recognized this as Jing. However, the massive tree in the background is clearly a fully grown world tree, which is said to exist only on the Dark Continent. The scale is completely different from the sapling in the human world that Jing climbed. In other words, the man in that image was likely not Jing, but Don Freecss. Why did that figure exist in Gon's memory, or in Jing's message? The hypothesis derived from this is terrifying. Is Gon's biological father actually Don, not Jing? Or, is Gon himself an existence created using technology from the Dark Continent? The pregnancy stone from Greed Island. The alchemy plants of the Dark Continent. What if Don, after 300 years of research, reached a technology related to life creation and entrusted it to Jing? If we think this way, Gon's abnormal recovery speed, his affinity with animals, and that explosive potential. The monstrous strength he showed when he transformed into Gon San, as if he had discarded his humanity. All of these would become proof that he is a hybrid life form possessing factors from the Dark Continent. Conclusion, a 300-year game of tag. Jing is currently aiming for the Dark Continent, piggybacking on Beyond Netero's plan. The ostensible reason is adventure, but his true objective might be to catch the back of this too great ancestor, Don Freecss. Just as Gon went on a journey chasing Jing. Jing is also chasing the back of the progenitor who stands at a distant height. The history of the Freecss family might be a grand game of tag spanning generations and continents. Don is said to be currently writing Journey to the New World, West. If Jing and the others catch up to him, will the book be finished? Or will Don have vanished further into the depths, aiming for the unseen western edge? One thing is certain, when they reunite, the truth told there will fundamentally overturn the world of Hunter x Hunter. Don Freecss. He is the man who holds both the beginning and the end of this story.